But there's another thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I'm just gonna leave you on that. Has to do with there's a video circulating online. Well, it's actually an audio clip. It's not a video. It's an audio clip, and I've first seen it on Twitter again. Fan accounts. I don't even know which one. There's so many of them right now, and I don't completely understand what the mission is at this point. It seems like, it all started with us watching a show, a reality TV show on Housewives, and we all have our favorites and some that we hate or love to hate. But I never thought that the hate would translate into something that is so toxic, right? I don't know if it's people, I don't know if people don't have anything to do. I don't know if it's because people are bored. I don't know if it's because of the lack of drama going on behind the scenes when it comes to Housewives. I don't know if it's people just trying to create some fake news or fake stories to keep their account relevant. But what I've been seeing right now, I think it's really gross, right? So, and I'm not putting the two in the same category. It seems like in the case of Ramona, it seems like a few incidents took place, and there's like a few witnesses, and there's like people that can corroborate the story and says, yes, Ramona, you did say that. And Ramona is known on the show to not remember what she says. It happens all the time. She says something and then someone calls her out on it, and she's like, did I say that? I don't remember, I'm sorry, that kind of stuff, right? So the fact that Ramona says she doesn't remember that this took place, or it took place in that fashion, I take that with a grain of salt, because she is known to not remember things when it's convenient for her. But at least in Ramona's case, there is some context, where people are able to give dates, times, situations, who was present, who was not, that kind of stuff, right? So that's why you have to kind of lean towards like, yeah, maybe Ramona, you were being a little bit of a, what, when it comes to this and that and the other, and maybe you are ignorant, or not, maybe you are a lot ignorant, and maybe you need to be taught certain things, right? But in the case of what I'm about to talk to you guys about, this has to do with someone is trying to say that Margaret was caught on a tape talking with another person using a racial slur. So I would say that it's maybe a 15 seconds audio clip that is circulating on Twitter and all over social media. People have picked it up now. People are talking about it on YouTube, in their blogs, and all of that. Okay. So then, first, I have to say, just in case you guys have not listened to it, because it's not always easy to find these things, but I'm just going to be as objective as I can be when it comes to this, guys. I listened to the audio clip, and the conversation starts with this woman saying, racial slur, then there's a picture. She took a picture with the wallpaper, right? The woman who actually says the racial slur does not sound anything like Margaret Joseph. Nothing at all. Okay? And then this person is saying that to another person, and the person who responds to her says, Teresa will take the fall and Joe and Melissa will agree, or something like that. And that person who responds that, I guess that person's voice sounds or a little bit like Margaret's voice, but I'm still not convinced that it's her. But that voice sounds way more like Margaret than the person who actually says the racial slur. Okay, so I don't even understand what the whole thing is all about, because at the end of the day, if it was Margaret saying it, then that would be a problem, I'm assuming. But it's not even her voice, and it's not even her. It's like you're having a conversation with somebody and the other person says a racial slur. Are you responsible for what is coming out of someone else's mouth? No. So I don't even believe that audio clip is real. I believe that it's completely fabricated. And to tell you the truth, I'm not even going to say that I know who is on the recording, all of that. But that other voice sounds more like an old bitter ex-friend. That's what it sounds like to me, like an ex-friend of Margaret. I'm not saying it's her, and I'm not saying that she has anything to do with it. I'm just saying the voice, because I've listened to it a few times. It does not remind me of Margaret, but it did remind me of her ex-friend, right? That she's no longer friends with, and that is not on the show. So, anyways, and I was very hesitant to, I was very hesitant to run with it because I was thinking, I don't even want to give it light. I don't even believe the story, so why even talk about it? But sometimes you feel like you need to come out and say these things because there's so many of these fans account that are saying so much bullshit, right? Pardon my French, but there's just so much bullshit out there that you feel like if you don't say anything ever, that you're allowing them to win. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. It's like, and it's almost like they bank on us not saying anything so they can continue to spew their venom and their hatred, and like, we're trying to expose this person. I don't understand why it has become a blogger or podcaster's responsibility or a plight in life to try to expose the Real Housewives. I don't understand what's the agenda here, right? So anyways, and that same account was sharing another clip of Margaret, like at some point in time where Margaret was heard saying like another slur that was not a racial slur but had to do with something else, and I just don't get it. And when you're trying to reason with them, it's like you're not even talking to a person. There's no logic. And it's kind of gross at this point. I think I had to say that. Whether you like Margaret or not, that's fine. You can say you don't like her. You can say you don't like her on the show. You can shade her a little bit when it comes to actions that she's taking on the show. But to try to go as far as trying to defame her character, make her appear to be somebody that she's not. And at the end of the day, if it was really Margaret on that audio clip, then, okay, then it would mean that she's wrong. But I think it's very irresponsible to just run with things like that. And you can't provide context. You can't provide time. You can't tell me who she's speaking to. You can't tell me where they were. It just so happened that you have an audio clip, like a 15 seconds audio clip with Margaret and another person. And in these 15 seconds, she happens to say a racial slur and talking about Teresa and Melissa all in those 15 seconds. But you don't have context. I find that a little laughable. It looks a little bit like not a little bit, a lot of bit like a setup. It looks like a setup to me. It's like, do we believe in that many coincidences at this point? I didn't know that people were so unhappy and broken that they needed to make it their life mission to try to purposely hurt another person just for the kick of it. Because I'm trying to find out how Margaret has hurt those people before they try to come for her. I can't find anything. I can't find anything. And when people say we need to expose the truth about this person, this person is lying about their past, or they're lying about this and they're lying about that, fine. You want to do that? Fine. But you have to make sure that your past as a podcaster, that your past as a blogger, that your past as a YouTuber, that your past as a person is squeaky clean. You have to make sure of that too. And I'm not going to name any names because that's not what I do. But some of you don't have a clean past. A lot of us don't. And some of you have been very forthcoming and said, hey, you know what? I got into a little bit of trouble at some point in my life. I was young. I was dumb. I was, making mistakes. I was maybe like addicted to something, and I did a few things to break the law, right? Some of you have come out and said that, and I think it's commendable. But is it always the full story? Is it the full story? And if it's not the full story, if there's more to the story that you choose not to talk about, why? Is it because it's something that could be painful to talk about? Is it something that you're trying to forget? Is it something that doesn't necessarily look good? Is it something that if people were to know that, they would be disappointed in you? Is that why you choose not to speak about the full story? And that's okay. I'm not throwing any shade here. It's your story to tell. But then don't go out and say that people need to be completely honest when you haven't been completely honest about yourself. There's no need for this online hatred and this targeted harassment on the housewives. There's no need to try to shut down or make a person lose their business deals. There's no need for that. Why can't we just talk about the show? Anyways, guys, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for listening. As always, be a fan, not fanatical. Ciao.